Good evening and welcome to the Now Debate. I'm Jared Walters with my good and absolutely hat-wearing friend Richard Oliver. How are you today, Richard?
Good, buddy. I'm good, yeah.
It's been an interesting couple of weeks here, and that's what's going on in the world. That's like things going on around us. Tonight we are going to try something different. Tonight we are going to show you our story as openly and as authentically as we can from beginning to end, showing you and giving you a flavour of all the different crazy twists and turns that have happened to us since we've been investigating the paranormal over, for me, 8 years ago. For Richard, how long ago, Rich?
Ooh, it's going to be the 1800s, but it's a long time.
It's been a while.
It's been a long time. Yes.
I want to start off by saying a massive thank you to Ben and Lainey. We did some work with them last weekend and they put a video out featuring myself and Richard on their channel, and I would like to also take the opportunity to welcome everyone who is new to this channel and subscribed to this channel. And if you're watching us for the first time, that was the point of this video, is to give you an insight into what we're all about, basically, and why such you can troll through our channel page and look through our videos, and why you'll find so much crazy things like videos about a council of 12. No, it's nothing to do with the government and the poll tax. It's to do with extraterrestrials, and why we do this thing called ITC. Yes, Richard, your thoughts, my friend. Your thoughts, and what would you like to say?
Why not? It's like L'Oreal, because we're worth it. You want to know about our story? Come and have a listen. It is bonkers. I'm not gonna lie. There's some bits in these videos we'll try and talk about in between.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is our story, and this is why we're on YouTube, and why we stuck at it on YouTube, and yeah, that's basically it. Just it's hard trying to put everything we've been through into what we managed to narrow it down
50
to
minutes, just about.
Yeah, just give or take, and it's not easy to do, but we thought we'd give people a refresher, and if they come to the channel and new, and you can have a look and see for yourselves and just see just how nuts we are, and then you can decide whether you want to stick around.
The worst part is this what we're showing you tonight is not the half of it. You know, this is a very large and expansive story, of which we've been privileged to be a part of. And you'll see many points during the story. We will talk about the personal effects this has had on us. So I hope that any of you guys watching that are going through your own paranormal story take some comfort in it, take some ideas from it, or take something from it. Because at the end of the day, sharing these stories and sharing these experiences is what we're all about. And we ask every week for different people, different guests to come on and share their insights and share their stories with you guys. And, it's only fair that we do the same. And that's what tonight's all about. So, shall we get into the first part, Richard?
Let's do it, bud.
Well, the first part is going to be about how we both got started. And for both of us, in many ways, it had to do with contact with beings that we have now come to know as the Council of 12. So, sit back and enjoy.
My story on the Council of 12. I was having really profound paranormal experiences, which I had quite a lot when I was younger. I'd encountered ET stuff. I witnessed a few things myself. I went to a church, a spiritualist church, and I met this old lady, Gwen, who took a look at me and said, start in my class on Monday. The first time I ever meditated, I was in sort of some rooms, you know, I can describe it. There was like blacks, greens, greys sort of colouring in this room. And there was some sort of being at this, I say a control panel, but that's what it sort of looked like if it was on the other side of a desk sort of thing, but like a keyboard type thing. Well, what's this about? This is weird. I was like, really shouldn't have been there. This thing looked up and it just sort of glanced at me, and it sort of did like a double take. Right? When I come back from the meditation, when I come back to myself, my teacher, Gwen, said, "Rich, where did you go?" I thought you were supposed to tell me. She said, "You just disappeared. You just went up and you were gone." I tried to explain to her and she was like, "Oh, they don't like to talk about that in the church." So anyway, so I thought, I'll just try and keep these experiences to myself. Like, I couldn't really talk about them. She was interested and she was a believer, and she was like 83. I did meditation twice, maybe 3 times a week. They were getting darker and weirder and darker, and it sort of just progressed. Just one day I was in meditation and I was basically used to take you to this garden. Went into my garden and I got a fountain and an oak tree and all this beautiful water that I drink. It's the water of life. And I was sitting there and I was thinking, oh, this is nice actually. I'm kind of chilling, like. And this thing just appeared, just came into my garden. And basically, I sort of I was just fed up at this point. So we had a little battle in my meditation. I can remember just getting so frustrated and angry that I just sent this energy out to myself in just temper, really. My garden just disappeared and I was stood in like an arena, and there was all these different beings just sat around me. They all looked quite shocked, and then it went back to my garden. So I did it again. I was like, what was that? And I did it again. All of a sudden it was just these beings. They would all just sat around me. I kept this bubble out and there was these beings. So I was like, what are you doing? And there was one that came forward and said, "Please don't be angry, but we've been testing you to see your limits and like what you do under these circumstances and different things like that." And I remember thinking, well, that's pretty out of order. I said, "Who are you?" And they said, "We're the Council of 12. From that moment on, I would randomly just appear there in this place. I went on for years, and they would ask me questions about everything in the world. My point of view on it. Yeah, it was a pretty crazy time in my life. I really couldn't talk about it. I talked about it with others in the group. Like, there was no one to guide me on it or, explain this stuff to me. So we started Paranormal Wales. I started investigating the paranormal, and that led me on an unbelievable journey.
We started having activity in the house, and it was strange because before we started having the activity, Richard got in touch with us, and that's when we started to become friends, because he helped me and my partner through these experiences that we were having. I was lying in bed, my partner was sleeping, and I looked into my doorway and there was this figure, and it was really tall. It was about 6'5", I would have said, and it just looked like, it wasn't an apparition per se, because I can see an apparition probably stays for 2 or 3 seconds and it's gone, right? I can still feel it, I can still sense it, but when I see it, it doesn't stay there for too long. This, I was looking at it and it was looking at me, and I was wide awake. I woke my partner. I was like, what is that? It was, what the hell is going on? And she's seen it. It was like, "Jan, there's another one in the other corner." And these figures, they came in and they sat on the bed. When I spoke to Richard about it the next day, he gave me one of the best advice, and I've still passed this on to people. The best bit of advice that I've ever had and probably will ever have was document it. So I sat down with a camera and I went through the entire experiences we'd had up until that point. And as I'm talking about this being, there is a voice on the camera. I'm in the house pretty much on my own at this point, and the voice says, "Truth seeker, share with us." This was lasting for a good 5 minutes. I was looking away. How did I go up to invest? Jesus. And it was through that experience that I decided that I needed to learn more about the paranormal, and I wanted to help other people that had gone through what I'd gone through. And that's when things got interesting. Is that radio stations?
Yeah, so it does. It sweeps through radio stations and it brings. They say a spirit's able to sort of manipulate the white noise to bring their voice through. You said your name, man, Jack?
In October of 2013, I attended a kind of training exercise for investigators near Tongwynlais Woods, near Castle Cork. Myself, my partner Richard, and several members of his team were there, and it was my first time ever seeing a ghost box. And when I first laid eyes on it, I was fascinated that there was a device out there that could possibly bring through spirit activity. That I found was absolutely it blew my mind. I would be completely honest with you, it absolutely blew my mind. Especially when the damn thing said my name and gave me a message that from this point on I would start to learn things, and that I would meet different people, that my view of the world would change, and that there was a lot of information that I would be given over the course of the next few years. As 2013 continued, we conducted our first set of paranormal experiments using a spirit or Ouija board. Sadly, there is no video evidence of these sessions, however we did record them using a dictaphone, and some of the EVPs that have come through the recording are amazing, as you will see.
Can you give us the initial of your name, please?
Nine. 9 is the neurological symbol of completion.
Are you trying to tell us 9, please? Shit.
Yes. Are you known to one of us? Can you guide the triangle to the first initial of your name, please? V. Is it you, Van? Smell guide. Is it?
Yeah.
Is the message concerning all of us here today? Yes. How many beings of love and light are with us today, please? 8. Have we had contact with any of these beings before?
Are the ETs involved in this, please? Can you tell us?
I've been meaning to ask her. Yes. Is that why we had a visitation from whatever it was back in August? Yeah.
Are there ETs against us, please? Are there some that's for us?
I kept telling my team on Paranormal Wales that if you don't stop negativity, it's going to bite us on the ass. It's going to bring us down. I thought I got a choice by you. there is real and unequivocal evil in the world, and it seems to be coming from a spiritual source, and it will affect people and knock them flat. And I can't do anything but the big things, but I can do things about these people. So I started really throwing myself into helping people understand themselves and the paranormal, and how the two coincide. And but yeah, they did actually bring Paranormal Wales down, and it was through nothing more than negativity, and it knocked me. Oh, it knocked me sideways. I'm not gonna lie to you. It really did. And I thought, what am I putting myself in? Why have I been put in this position? Who am I? What am I? Why is this? Why me? Like all the people in the frigging world. I'm thinking, what's next on my journey?
And we are back. Well, that is part 1. Richard, what do you think, my friend?
Yeah, I know. You can hear me at the end of that one. I was back in the day. That was just when Paranormal Wales, and I had a cracking team, and unfortunately we were brand new, and we were doing things that people weren't doing, and investigating the paranormal in people's homes regularly, and it had its consequences. And as you heard today, unfortunately, it didn't last very well. It lasted a couple of years, but it didn't last. It couldn't. It just, I was, at the time, I was the only one that was really, doing the work and doing not so much with the stuff we did, but like the spiritual side of everything, and going to the church and the meditation and the study. So, and I was trying to tell everyone, but when things like that are involved, when people don't gel, as you know in life, they just, you can't, that affects him. What we were doing and investigating the paranormal had a massive effect on it.
You've
So
got to have the right people, haven't you, for it? And we've had our ups and downs over the years, but just look at the hair color. I had black hair back then, and you looked.
I had hair.
You had hair.
I had hair.
You had
I
an abundance
fringe,
of hair.
Really. I was about 2 years off a fringe.
Yeah.
Just to let you know as well, there's some of the audio levels, because obviously they're coming from different parts of our life going through this process, and some of the audio's changed. Because earlier, I literally, I was listening, it was quiet, and then you said something, and I threw the cat, bless him. So I just,
oh,
just
poor
like,
cat.
I was like, I threw him after a year there, so no, I'm joking. It just keep in mind that, because it did startle me. It did. It startled me.
It's I wanted to cut this together, and we did it in the last 48 hours basically. I wanted to cut this together to represent the journey, so I didn't want like just us to sort of sit down and answer the questions again. I wanted to show as much of what was happening as it was happening. This is what we were feeling when we were going through it, and that figure in the doorway, and 4 years later when Rob took that picture of the sort of alien face in the window, and that being exactly what I saw. It was just something. It was something. Back then I didn't even believe in ufology. I had no time for it. I was working as a medium, but I think it was safe to say we were very green back then. And I also found as well, I shed a tear making that video, because there's a bit at the end where we're doing, that's the only time I've ever really done a Ouija board, and never again. Because what we will later show you in the now investigations, how heavy some of these messages are. And one of my spirit guides come through, and it was a guide changeover. I'd been through that sort of guide changeover, and it was one of the last times I actually spoke. That particular spirit guide had come through in that way, so it was it was very much the beginning of a new journey for me back then. And in a weird way, you know, although you'd done it for several years, there was a lot of beginnings there at that time for you, because you were going through a transition, you know, just around about the time I joined Paranormal Wales, you know, about 4 or 5 months later, you know, it had crumbled, and the page I was running, Spiritual Worlds, at that point was, by about a year later, was on its dying legs. So
I never even had a spirit, as you know. I never had a spirit guide, and everybody else I learnt with and trained with and advanced my mediumship and everything had spirit guides, and then nobody wanted the job for me. I was like proper isolated.
Well,
I'd even put out I put it in, you know, an ad in the paper, and I couldn't get a spirit guide. So it just, you know, it was a crazy journey, and that's just the start of it. Should we jump on to the next one, Jazzy?
let's go to part two. Let's go to part two.
So now I'm learning about the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, JP Morgans of the world, super families, Egypt, Nostradamus, the Knight Templars, money, the Illuminati, the David Icke, Zeitgeist, Atlantis, Göbekli Tepe, Panupiku, the Titanic, the Houses of Congress, this legislation in there that says we will test biological and psychological weapons on our own people if it's deemed in within national security. I'm learning about the Federal Reserve, Enoch and Isaac and the Bible and Jesus and every culture on earth with the ETs. I'm learning about biblical stories and different versions of them. The magic of maths, pi, it's infinite pi. Every code, every birthday that is of anyone that has ever existed is written within pi, and every universe that could be exist, because it's infinite. That's what infinity means. It's infinite. There's numbers beyond our existence. And all this, I'm having a spiritual awakening through meditation and learning about my own abilities. And I've had this spiritual experience where I think I've stood before God, and something is changing in me, and I'm starting to learn about my own energy and my own abilities through colours and tarot cards and crystals and meditation, and I'm being taken on these journeys. I'm learning about what your mind can create and all these things, and I'm getting messages from ETs, and I'm getting messages from angels and demons and different forms of life and spirit, and I'm starting to tell people things and they're coming true, and people are saying, oh my God, how do you know that? I'm seeing things. I've never met this person in my life. And in the process of having Paranormal Wales, I met Jazzy Jeff, I call him, but Jared.
My world had been turned upside down, and the activity just kept happening. We were doing a live stream for people who followed our Facebook page when I worked as a medium, and just some crazy stuff started happening with the mics, and this message came through saying it was a voice from heaven. And when I found out who that voice belonged to years later, it changed everything for me. So Richard had lost Paranormal Wales, and over the course of the next few years, I would join him more and more on cases and become part of what we now call Paranormal Now. And this is some of the evidence that we've captured, just of everything, guys. Life after death, spirit communication, ufology, just you name it. We had some kind of experience with it.
Right, okay, let's try going this way then. Let's try going this way.
I'm just documenting it and all that.
a weird fucking noise.
I heard something. Sounded like you were wheezing.
Good. I think we're pretty much.
Pretty much.
Did you know Sarah in her teenage years? Oh, okay, thank you. Okay.
Feel like my face is fizzing.
That's weird because it's touching your face. It's actually touching. I got it on camera, but it's touching your face. And it's gone. Can you move towards us, please? We can see you on this camera. Are you waving at us? Can you wave?
Thank you.
Can you walk in? Stand up in the middle of the kitchen. Come to the middle of the doorway. I'm not going to do you any harm. Oh. I went into this room. Right. I just went through the wall.
One of the telling signs there is a spirit in a home is an anomalous electromagnetic fields, especially if such fields can act in a responsive manner. It is widely known within the paranormal community that a spirit can generate electromagnetic energy, and we can use this energy to form a communication by asking the spirit to step closer to the device so it lights up for yes and step away for no. When we enter a home or place of work, we map out any source of electromagnetic energy we can find, be it natural or man-made. This includes things like Wi-Fi routers, gas or electric meters, and some appliances such as fish tanks in the home and large pieces of machinery and vending machines in the workplace. We also consider sources we may carry with us, such as radios or mobile phones, and are constantly vigilant whether these are responsible for any signal we pick up. When we see a hit on the meter, which is outside what has been mapped, we consider it to be anomalous, and will then do our best to determine the source. If it is a spirit, then we will ask for communication. If not, then we know we need to investigate further. In 2015, we noticed a strange signal in a house near Swansea, but at the time we believed it was localised to this house. It was not until January 2016 that we started to notice it on other investigations about 25 miles away from the first one that we started to take further notice.
Keep an eye on the time, because if this is the same phenomena, around about 9 to 9:30 that field will grow.
It'll go from here to middle of the road, and then it'll go from here like this. And it's always about 25 foot from the centre point. It's about 50 foot wide reading. So if I go in there, it's gone. And then I come back, and it should be back.
Yeah, do it again for the camera. Do it in a second.
As it goes, as it goes, as it goes, as it goes. And it's gone to green.
Okay, yeah.
And I come forward, and it should come back to yellow. Now yellow now will stay on through the doors out into another road. If I turn it, right, it's just not possible. That's just not possible, but you're not doing anything, right? It's changing the current.
Anything?
Yeah, massive.
Follow it.
Yes, I'm good. Look. It's the fucking house, man. It's the whole fucking house. It's the whole street.
As soon as you put it in there,
Regular things, the alarm clock.
There's
Nothing out in the corridor.
Nothing out in the corridor, right? Nothing out in the corridor. As soon as you put it in there, bang. Do you see that then?
Yeah, as I said, should we ask out? Can you make both of them go off, please? Can you pass through the both of them? Thank you.
Brilliant.
That's what we wanted to see.
Excellent.
Right. Do you know do you have any information on this field we have been looking into, please? Right.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is this field man-made?
No.
Is this field paranormal?
Yes.
Thank you. Can we pick up this field better? Answer my question.
Right, what was the question?
Better than normal people.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Is it caused by the Earth? This field, please. Right.
Thank you.
Is it the field causing these paranormal events to happen? Okay.
Has it anything to do with the energy shifts of the Earth?
Are people on the Earth linked? So that's what's creating this field, please.
Right.
Okay, we're getting somewhere.
Is the field localized to this area? No.
Right.
Are we likely to pick this up again? Yes. Are you extraterrestrial?
Are you like on a higher plane of existence, like not spirit, like something else? That's what I was asking.
Yeah. Are we awakening? Is humanity awakening right now? Are parts of humanity awakening right now? Yeah. Do we need more people to wake up? Yeah.
We are back. Sorry, guys. I actually got carried away we're about 30 seconds ahead on the stream. I actually got carried away watching that.
What was that funky music, Jazz, at the beginning of that?
It was playing that funky music.
I was like, whoa, we don't need a singing bowl or sage. I just go in and show the ghost my ring hand, playing that music. We're like, that ghetto. That was amazing. Yes,
might have just had an EVP there.
Well, as we're talking,
Yeah.
it might. Let me just turn the stream down. It might be the stream because the stream's playing my end.
I heard like a kind of
you?
yeah. I wonder. Couple of people on the chat. We've had our first super chats from Purple Sammy and Ben and Laney. I didn't even know we had super chat on this channel.
Where is it gone? Where is it? I don't know where it is.
I don't know what to do with it. You'll have to teach me what to do with it because I haven't got a clue.
Oh.
But no, thank you guys. Thank you. We've
Gone straight to Bill Gates probably.
No, I think you. Yeah, no, you do actually. It is like a donation thing. I haven't really looked into super chat that much. I know like a lot of channels do it, but we've just never sort of enacted it at this point. Well, thank you guys. A few people are saying this would make a great documentary. Well, that's kind of the purpose of us doing this. Is hopefully tomorrow or Friday we're actually going to put all 5 parts into one video and put that video out just as one continuous stream that will tell the whole story. but we wanted the opportunity to talk about some of it as well, especially the the fact that I owe Richard a public apology, because now on 4 videos on this channel it is that damned footage of him walking down the street with a K2 meter strapped to a very long pole, and I am so sorry for that, but that was the only way of showing how much that magnetic field was actually coming out.
Well, my selfie stick just wouldn't go that tall. And that's Welsh investigators. We improvise. See, we improvise. That was somebody's washing pole. No, it wasn't. Yeah. Well, we wanted to know. I know it's mad, isn't it? You know, I'm standing in the street with basically a stick with what looks like a toy, waving it in kids' bedroom windows, and nobody batted an eyelid. So that just kind of show. So one guy come out and said, "What are you doing, Bat?" I said, "We're looking for ghosts, Bat." He said, "Oh, as long as it's not my sky, we're fine." No, you know, we have to discover it was something you just come across that is just bizarre. We get people to turn all their devices off, so we'd get them to turn the mains off. There'd be no devices on in the home, and we still picked up this anomalous reading. This was dead center of the K2 meters, and we use them. And I get lots of people saying, "Why don't you use the proper ones and that?" But it's not the same. I rigorously tested them K2 meters against other electronic devices. I've got lots of friends who've been Leckies and stuff, and they work perfectly. But it's not so alarming for the people we investigate for, and you can see it in the dark because it lights up like some of the others do, where they have a dial, and it just the communication, as you can see in our video, can be quite something. It can be quite astounding.
Yeah,
That's why we use things like this.
absolutely.
They're a bit pleasant.
And it's one of those things is that when we've actually come across it now in other places around the UK. I believe there's an ITV ghost program that came out in the early noughties, about 15 years ago, where they followed a bunch of paranormal investigators on haunted homes and things, and one of them picks up the same reading. I believe Kent from Ghost of Carmen, Maine had a very similar sort of reading in his house, in the Lamb House, and
Yeah.
I believe
Couldn't
Matt.
use one.
No, it can't.
Couldn't use one.
Couldn't use
So?
one. No. And Matt from Ghosts of Carmen, Maine has also picked that up as well. So, which you spotted on their channel, and Matt and his team will be joining us next week for next week's Now Debate, which is going to be a brilliant, because they've recently been on Paranormal Court on camera, and they have some amazing stories to tell about some of the skullduggery shenanigans of some of the mainstream paranormal shows, which I'm sure we're going to be.
GhostNet Paranormal. Check them out, guys. Give them a look.
Yeah, give them a look on Facebook. GhostNet Paranormal. They are a really good team, and Matt and Alina are absolutely 100% true to form. You know, they are good investigators, and their hearts and their souls are in the right place. Absolutely. Yeah, so you know the purpose of that part of the video was just to sort of give a flavour of just some of the evidence we've captured. Like my favourite part of that was the Connect footage where one of our investigators, she could feel a spirit touching her face, and you can actually see it on the Connect, which is people have questioned that device quite a lot. But we have covered everything in these videos. We have not put anything new in here. Everything in this sort of like series of videos tonight is on the channel. And what we've done is we've broke everything down into series underneath. So there's like my story, Richard's story, is the conversations with Jonathan. You're going to learn about the story of Jonathan now in a minute. And there's the Council of 12 story. There's the stuff we did with Gary Jones and the Penn Turk incident with Kaz Clark. There's a series for the monthly breakdowns we do with Jesse and Nichols George. And yes, because of when you come through and see this, you're going to see that some of these messages do get political. They do get into like really nitty gritty subjects. The one we've got a video hopefully coming out on the weekend where it's talked about the American election, and there's been several other videos that have talked about some of these things, And this is another reason why we wanted to do this video, to say, look, you know, this is the reason why we put out these videos that we are, because we are getting these messages, and this is what's led to us getting these messages.
Yeah, I mean, you know, that footage of the Connects is one of my favourites. I've asked people to try, well, I've posed it to some people to try and debunk it, because she felt that the being that I was filming touched her cheek, same cheek, and he reached up and touched her cheek, and she felt this. So, I mean, you know, we have caught some impressive evidence. I mean, the one with the miners and everything we did.
That's the only one I couldn't put in yet, because I would have had to explain too much for that to go in. But that is, again, it's under the Connect playlist. It's a case we did in 2019, and a ghost appears in a picture. Our friend Martin is taking pictures, and the ghost box goes, "My friend just posed in your picture." And the information they give about the 1984 miners' strike is, we're going to have to delve into that case a lot more, I think, Rich. I think we'll have to do a now debate on that. I think that's going to be on the priority list and I think we need to go into some of our cases in a lot more detail.
Yeah, well, if the fact I want to do more research on the fact that it is a UFO landing and witness spot, the pit, Penalta, and it happened back in the 60s, and it was witnessed by police and the entire village. It's an incredible area. It does warrant. No, it was in the paper. It made the paper. What my family experienced. My uncle, it was the saw it, but I'll find the archives and just to show how mysterious the area is, and some of the things that have happened, and the ghost stories and the paranormal stories that have come out of that area. So it does warrant more of our investigating. So we do part 3.
Let's do part 3. I hope you guys are enjoying this, and thank you for your contributions on the chat. Let's get into part 3. So tonight, it's going to be a actually work. Now we have together a wide variety of different apps and different things.
Right, yeah, we decided to do an experiment because people ask us lots of questions about the stuff we use and the equipment. So we've done this so we can show you how we do our investigations and the equipment we use and how we communicate with spirit on a non-mediumistic side.
Early in 2017, I had a dream where myself, Richard, and another investigator, Martin, were sat in my house and we were doing experiments with ghost box devices. These devices take an audio source of which spirit can manipulate to make a live EVP, and you can get messages from them. We had used them on cases, and throughout the last 3 years we had profound messages whenever we turned on these devices, whether it was communicating with someone else's loved ones or having messages from the Council of 12 and other personal messages.
Jared.
I just said my name.
Yeah. Jared.
Is this somebody who wants to speak to me? Can you say something else?
I definitely said Jared.
You've seen this. I know.
So hopefully it's going to go well, but it's just because we get asked lots of questions when we go on cases and from the Joe public. So this is an opportunity for you guys to see us doing what we do, and we'll explain it as we go along, and hopefully it should be good. So we decided to do this thing called the Now Investigations live, which I wasn't really on board with, because I thought it was dangerous, because we can't control what's coming out of the ghost box, and the other reason is because I've seen how powerful this stuff can be. And we started getting these messages.
Where are you? Tell us where you are. Invisible. No way.
Did it say that? It did, didn't it? I thought it did.
Where are you?
Invisible.
It did. Where are you two? Are you with us now? Are you in this room? Yes.
Oh, yes,
Okay. Awesome, thank you.
I think what we need to do
Please
is
stop that.
Please stop that.
No way.
That turned off and it says, please stop that.
Doesn't have to lift a finger.
I didn't have to lift a finger.
I'm more than welcome.
You're more than welcome.
And
Have a look at us on there, see if we can find blocking.
Whoa.
Watch.
I've got a few thoughts.
This was a series of 11 live broadcasts on YouTube between 2017 and 2018. And in this time, Richard would have the validation of the Council of 12. Are you communicating with anyone else here on Earth?
Did I say we are the 12?
We are the 12.
Yeah, I thought so.
But I would also have something really personal. My brother, who I had lost in 1999, came through to me and told me that he had been communicating with me psychically and through the ghost box devices throughout the various cases that we had investigated. Is that Jonathan? Because I just heard my name and I heard Bruv before.
I heard Charlie. Johnny.
Yeah,
Is that your name? Can you give us that?
Johnny's my brother's name.
Yeah, Johnny's your brother.
Can Jonathan speak to you? This had a profound impact on all of us. We realised that doing these investigations live was probably a very big mistake because of some of the things that came through and how personal they could be. For me, it was a chance to reconnect with someone so dear to me. The course of this incredible journey. This is a small sample of some of the amazing messages that came through from Jonathan and the Council of 12. Is Jonathan here?
Goodbye, Jeanette.
Yeah. Alright. Zap.
Wait, what?
Thanks for watching.
Strange command. Not a girl listener for you.
Is it easy for you to use this device tonight?
Is there anything you'd like to tell us tonight?
Ascension.
What?
He said ascension.
It did say ascension, did it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
During a paranormal investigation live charity event in 2018, we had what was possibly the scariest message from the Council of 12. A message that said the great change was coming, and it would start with a word that I didn't recognise. I was not present during this session, and we are using an app that had no connectivity to the internet whatsoever. Somehow these words were given in front of several witnesses, and they spoke of events that all of us now have experienced.
If there's any spirits of light and love with us now that want to communicate, please come forward and use this device.
It sounds familiar. You said that, Ma? Gonna face Larry. Face one of those.
Lost in their captivity.
Over there, okay? Basically what happens is, if spirit move.
That's what it's designed for. Okay, so imagine. I'll show you more.
Yeah, the passes in front of it.
Hello?
Yeah. Yeah. See how it. What did it say? I'm trying to reach out. Can you? We're talking spirits of light and love. Can you come forward and communicate with us, please? Is there any spirits of light and love with us now?
I came in well too quick this time. I will get this live thing right at some point, Richard. Right. Just watching that. Right, a few things. You'll see in the beginning we're using the Communal Garden SB7, the radio that goes and chugs away. That basically the apps that we're using are a variant of that. So the ones that we're using when we're sat in the room that I'm in here, they are the SCD2, which is Spirit Communication Device 2. And it's produced by GhostHunterApps.com in conjunction with Huff Paranormal. And what it basically does is it scans radio frequencies. But where's the ghost box from the SB7 radio ghost box scans FM radio, this scans digital radio. It does the same thing. It sweeps and it breaks it up into very, very small sort of chunks. So it's like it's not going to be like a radio signal. The prediction at the end, most of which has now come true, and that's not the full session. That is, there's no internet with that. That's using recorded sound banks and the portal, which a former investigator with ours and Martin and built a brilliant device. And if it wasn't for Martin building that device, perhaps we wouldn't have sort of done the now investigations that we did. So we do owe Martin a bit of a debt of gratitude, and we are very thankful for his contribution to the work. And you know, he's joined us on 7 investigations. Yes, a lot of that has happened, and you know, we've had the fires in Australia, the fires in America, the riots in America. You know, very much like a biblical sort of flame and fire. 2020 was very much a baptism of fire, and it says certain things about that bug that's going around that we won't mention the actual name ourselves because we could get penalised by YouTube. But it's crazy. Now, what you guys may come to learn if you follow our videos is we don't take everything at face value. You know, we show it, but again, this could just be someone's opinion. It could be, we trust it to a point, but we always question it. Always question it.
Yeah, and that response where it said the dreaded bug, we were doing a special charity event to make for our friends, and I had a group of people upstairs and they were listening to that live, and I wasn't a fan of the app anyway. What was the app called, Jazz?
It's the Q3 Mark II, and that's again from ghosthunterapps.com.
Oh my god, right, it sounds like Satan's sister. It is absolutely terrifying, and it was saying all of what you read and more. And I was taking a group and I was saying, oh, everything's going to be fine, guys. This is lovely. So, you know, we'll just get communication with spirit and we'll find out who's here and whatever. And all that come out. And I mean, they were terrified. We were going to hear us laughing in a little bit, but we were, I mean, if a mouse had farted in that room, they would have jumped out the window.
You were genuinely, you were genuinely terrified by that.
Yeah, it was end of the world. So, you know, this is it's one of the reasons why we did it, because so many times we've helped people who have done things wrong and they've gone into the paranormal and they've gone into it just completely, just so green, and it can be an incredible thing. And, you know, this is why we've helped different people. This is why we've had people on our YouTube channel. This is why one of the reasons why we helped Lainey and Ben, and now we're friends with Sam. And it's what we do. You know, and Kent of Calm and Maine, which we spoke about. We've had him on the show, and it's just looking for, because we know how mad the paranormal can be. It can be something else. It's not just about, like, you know, bumps in the night and different things and stuff moving. It's a massive spectrum to the paranormal, and you know, this is just a snippet. This is just a tiny snippet. You know, Jazzy has amazingly put this together just for the new people on our channel, and just to show you, you know, our journey. And you know, this just it's bonkers, guys. We lived it. You know, we've joked about it and we don't take much seriously because we do like that. We do like to have a laugh on that, but genuinely, we have been through it doing this. Jazz?
Yeah, absolutely.
We've through it.
A few people have asked about, like, because the responses can sound very harsh, and what it is because spirits are manipulating the audio, they do find lower pitch tones. I found a bit easier to communicate. So even though it sounds like, as you said, Satan's sister, it doesn't necessarily mean that the intent behind it is bad. It's just that's how, you know, we did try and make it on the last session. We did try and up the pitch to see if we could clear things up a little bit, but it's just the audio that's coming through, and that's how it sounds. We actually do that purposefully. because it brings the audio through. What it does is it makes the audio slightly longer. So you add like reverb and you add a little bit of echo and you add a little bit of a lower pitch to it. It basically helps spirit or these beings, Council of 12. It helps them to bring through these messages, and I that response of Jonathan when he says, "I'm your brother, you docile prick." That's quintessentially Jonathan. That's what Jonathan would have said. That's exactly
some of the things
what
your brother have said to you has creased me.
Well, I did. I'll have to find it and I'll put it on the channel. But we did I used to do a show called Monday Messages because we don't do these live anymore because of some of the stuff that can come out. We have done them in the past, and we don't like to do them live because it can be a bit of a can of worms and it can be a bit frightening to people. We've done events like we've done these Ghostbusters you've just said, Rich. And there was one time I was sat in this very room and I was getting ready to do a stream, and I turned the SCD2 on, and all I heard was a response going, "Jared sucks dick."
Yeah.
and
yeah, that one kills me.
And I had a reading with Purple Sammy on the chat, and she gives fantastic readings, guys. Any of you guys,
I've had one myself.
any of you guys after a reading, then she is definitely someone to go to. But she is fantastic, and she picked up on Jonathan's energy, and she validated just how strong his energy is, and that, like, I know him as my brother. He was 20 when he passed. I know him as he's just Jonathan to me. But when he does come through, when he works, the energy behind it is just beautiful. It's just absolutely beautiful. And some of the stuff he said, like, that bit when he says our path is one of the greatest. And I wasn't even in the room. We were downstairs. We took a break at that point, and we just decided to keep the apps running because the connection with the app or the device or the spirit box or whatever, your portal, whatever you're using, it always comes through you. You never, ever, ever take it 100% from the spirit box. You always get other forms of validation, whether that's your psychic connection, whether that's through synchronicities, whether that's through research. You always we always keep investigating it, because it's not a case of like, oh, it said that, oh, isn't that wonderful? No, it says it for a purpose, and we also need to know, continuously validate the intent behind it. And each time now, it's never failed. You look at some of the predictions, like the one you did on November 1st of last year, and it says about the American election, like that. We'll talk about that in another video, but just what that came out with, and all you were after was who's causing problems in your house. And these, as you will come to see with the Council of 12, they have made themselves known. And there is a video that's on this channel. We'll talk about it at the end of this one, because I couldn't fit it in, so I'd like to talk about it very briefly. But if there's nothing further to say, have you got anything further to say before we go into part 4, Richard?
No, let's get on part 4, but come on.
Let's get on with part 4. Well, I'm gonna put you on the screen whilst I select part 4. Enjoy, guys. This is where things got really interesting. I was getting direct communication from my brother, who was coming forward and telling me that just giving me more and more validation that he was there.
Communicate with us. What was that? Did anyone else hear that? I started going through these messages that I had received so many years before, and it was quite humbling, because the messages were so kind and gentle and loving, but they were straight to the point. I'm gonna okay. And we were also getting communication from these beings, and we finally had a name for them, known as they were known as the Council of 12. And when I look back now through the sessions, they were been referred to a few times as the Council of 12, and we've even got one saying the 12 appeared in the bedroom, in your bedroom. It was them that came and spoke to you. It got to a point where the paranormal was just getting so intense and so crazy that we kind of lost. I was starting to lose sense of myself.
It was back in 2013, and I had an email saying I've been using a sleep pod and I've picked up voices. So I went along to investigate. And I can remember in this moment saying to her, and it was about 30 minutes in, I feel like there's a curse. And I can remember getting quite upset. And I can remember thinking, it's a bit strange. But basically that's how she felt. So she started telling me her history and her links to some things that are quite extraordinary. So me and Gary had gone to this investigation at the property, and it started off quite normally, and Gary was using quite a new device called the Ovulus. And we start to get responses, and we can feel different energy around the property. And then all of a sudden, Gary says, "Rich, my back's burning." Well, I can remember him lifting up his top, and he had a set of 3 scrams running from his shoulder to just by his hip, the full length of his back. And when he took this top up, I went, "Bloody hell, guy." I said, "I didn't know you had like John J. Rambo scars on your back." I said, "That's crazy." He said, "I haven't got no scars on my back." I said, "But I'm looking at them, and they look like old white scars, because they were quite thick and standing out off his back. And as I'm staring at them, they just start to pick with blood. and then the blood starts to appear then, coming down his back. So I'd asked a gentleman called Lionel Fanthorpe, who is a supernatural vicar, played himself in the film The Omen. And I'd watched him on this series called Weird Wales, and I was a big fan and admirer. And I'd phoned him up and asked him if he would do an exorcism on the property because the church wasn't helping.
Richard would work on this case between 2013 and 2018. In March of 2018, it finally came to an end. However, for Richard, the consequences were devastating.
Everybody involved and everybody around me had started to be affected in some form or other with personal things, and they were to do with all sorts, and they were to do with like relationship issues. I was dealing with my own relationship issues. And everybody seemed to be around me. I can't go into too much detail, guys, because it's very personal, but you'll just have to take it on faith and take my word for it that they were all linked to relationship issues. And everybody seemed to come to me with their issues and sort of place them on my shoulders, if you like. And I was there for people. And old members of my team, I'd come back in contact with us. Now I'm starting to see this, and I said to Spirit, if you want me to do these things, if you want me to deal with them, and I mean this thing really can affect you. I mean, it can destroy things. Now this is power. This is like the power of. This is like the battle of good and evil. And I'd stepped my foot over that line, and now I was in kind of trouble. But the fact I'd done it through love for this person, and I wanted to see him have a better life, was a little bit of saving grace on my part.
Walking round battered.
The tree in front of you, Jack.
Zero flux living.
Stop a minute. Tell it to back off, bud. Get it to back off. Get it to back off, bud. Tell it to back off. Tell it to back off. Tell it to back off. Just get it to back off, bud. Do you want to go for a minute?
In 2018, we had to take a break. Everything again just kind of broke down. And I had to take a massive step back, and emotionally I was an absolute wreck. I was struggling with all this stuff that we'd had, all the stuff that was going on, the fact I'd have these experiences and they'd be so out of this bloody world that, you know, I'd tell them back to myself, or I'd tell them to other people, and I'd be like, I don't even believe this happened, and I went through it. And it was crazy. We still kept doing cases up until about August of 2018, but after that then things did kind of stop quite a bit.
We've just seen a UFO. We tried to capture it. It didn't capture, unfortunately, which we are gutted about, but we're actually on our way to Llantrys Common now because Richard is being drawn up there, so we're going to find out.
The direction it headed. It just flew over our heads. It was huge, and there was no sound at all. It had multiple lights on it. It wasn't an airplane. It wasn't an helicopter. It wasn't a sound. Right, as you can see, you see the dots in the middle of the screen. There are dots on the horizon lights, and they are slowly but surely lifting up try and zoom in. That is not a town or city or anything. They are actually moving up towards the sky. As you can see, the one is lighting up the clouds in the distance. There are 5 lights just on the edge of the horizon. There they are. That is just mounting. Don't know what they are.
Can you see him on the camera?
Yeah, again, I'm just in the distance, but
And we are back. Well, that was part 4. One part left to go.
We'll take the sound down.
So, Richard, your thoughts, my friend. Penny for your thoughts.
Well, a lot of people have asked me about the curse thing, and
You go into it
hard.
a lot more in the channel, don't you? There's a 3-part video you go into with it.
I do talk about it a lot on the channel. Well, in that video, I can't go into too much detail. It just was what it was. I investigated my own case basically, and took me quite a while to get over it. I'm still involved in that case now to this day. And it's one of them things. I did something, I didn't research it, I did something because of the way I was feeling, and because of I say panic, but more just I can't. It's awful hard to explain. It's better to have on the channel, but that was just a snippet of where we all had to sort of just take a step back.
Yeah.
Because everything we were going through. We put we've had equipment stolen, me and Jazzy.
Yeah.
We've never charged for an investigation. It's cost thousands of pounds. It's cost. I've had cars blow up.
4 months after that UFO sighting, which led to a weekend. There's a video there. It's under the No Investigations playlist. It's under the UFO playlists, where we actually ended up helping a friend because they thought they saw the same UFO that we did, and they phoned us up in a panic. And well, we had a bit of a close call that night, and that was the night we kind of said, right, enough's enough. We need to step back.
Yeah, that night was the closest I'd ever come in the paranormal to thinking this is it, my number's up. And I really something's had me by here. I'm knackered. I am literally knackered. And it was kind of like you kind of left with that option of I don't want to take anybody else or hurt anybody else, so it's gonna be yourself. And that's kind of and I was unexpected, completely randomly, and it's part of the journey that we've been on, helping people and investigating the paranormal. And like I said, we've done it. We've helped so many people. We've helped families with children, so many children who are gifted and to develop, and we help the parents because the kids, half the time the kids are fine, they get it. It's the family and the parents that are like scared witless. So we've done so much to help in this field and investigate, and it's just what happens. It's just the road we were led down, and this is where we are. And we've just tried to put this message out there. We've said numerous occasions that we don't know half of it. We're just saying it. We don't know if we've been at points where we haven't believed it, Jazz.
Oh, definitely. There's a now debate, one of the early now debates called "The Apocalypse Can Wait," where we were jacking it all in. You go back earlier on, back to the videos from those times. They're all on the channel. They're all there, and we're keeping them there. We have discussed recently about taking some of them down, and we might revisit some of the old evidence. But at the end of the day, you know, we were there, and we were at that point. And you know, in 2019, after I had my kids stolen, and with everything that was coming through, I was actually at the point of a nervous breakdown at one point. You know, I was in a really bad way for the first half of 2019, and we started coming back around about September, doing cases in 2019. So we took like a full year off, and it wasn't then until we started in 2020, just after you had the UFO sighting, because I didn't realize this when I actually transcribed that session, which you're going to see next. You weren't even living in the house.
No.
Never mind,
no.
unaware of the session. You weren't even living in that house.
No, I was, because of everything that was going on, I was on my own. I was living on my own because I was so concerned that this thing that was happening would affect the people around me. And I had to, I said, Spirit, I'll do whatever you want me to do. If it makes this world a better place, if it really does make a difference, if it brings love into the world, if it changes people's minds, if it just changes our attitudes towards each other and this planet, and what we, you know, changes the belief in what we are, I'll do it. Place that opportunity before me, and I'll do it. And I was on my own, and I had plenty of time to converse and everything with Spirit and everything. But yeah, when that was recorded, the amount of times these recordings have referenced things at a later date, and then we've had moments where we've gone back and asked the questions and found the response to the question we've asked now, which if you can get your head around that, and it's been like stereo instructions.
There's a video of that coming out in the next couple of weeks as well, which we recorded back in January, where we actually did that.
I mean,
that might have to go on our BitChute channel.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that might be a bit controversial. I just want to say to all the guys in the chat as well before we go into the part 5. Wow, can't keep up with all of it. There was one, I got to just point it out. There was one called, I can't say, Recharge. I'm sorry, I've got dyslexia. I wouldn't take DMT and watch us, but just a bit of advice. All right, I wouldn't. Yeah, OPC, I wouldn't take anything, to be honest with you. We're trippy enough as it is. All right, just you know, I don't want you to go on a whitey or something watching us because that'd make me feel bad. But so just for that. But all the rest of you guys just keep on the chat, and it's nice to see everybody having a convo and.
Well, yeah, this is the thing. You are going to get people that are going to find this a bit hard to believe. Right, for people who might think this is fake, and I'm not saying that anyone on the chat does think this is fake, right? I'm not saying that at all. If people do, then that's your prerogative. You know, we're sharing our experiences. We're not asking you to, you know, take up the banner of the Council of 12 and sort of march on. I'll stop there before I get myself into more trouble with that.
Well, it's like somebody said we were on I could keep calling it the corner, Laney and Ben's channel. And somebody said, me personally was cold reading and I was leading this and I was doing that. And it's like that, you can say it, but come and have a chat about it. Don't just, you know, if you want to talk about it, if there's something you're not convinced about, or you've been through the paranormal, or you don't believe in the paranormal, come on the channel and have a chat about it. You know, we can explain it, why there's certain rules and things we do, and you know, when we investigate for someone in their home, we don't go in there scaring the sweet Jesus out of them. No. You know, you've got to think of it. It's not just going there and going, oh, this is what I get and this is what it is. You've got to think about and that's hard, Jazz. You can agree with it.
Absolutely.
When we investigate, I've done it. I've done it. I've done it by mistake when I first used the Kinects and I took it on a case and the people could see beings appearing. Yeah, they're stick men, but they were seeing them in their homes, scared the crap out of them. I thought, right, I'll never use that again on an investigation with the people watching, because it took me weeks to calm them down.
Yeah.
You know, and like aftercare.
Yeah.
Aftercare. I've done aftercare for 7 years. How long do you want to do aftercare for? How long? I've done it for months. I've gone back and forth and helped them. you know, it's a lot, guys. When we do this, it's not just us sitting here telling you that we've captured this. We do a lot, man. We put a lot of work into this. We care about people, and we do it for love. We don't do it for fame or money or nothing. It's done for love and to further the field.
Yeah.
To further our understanding and the nature of reality and the universe and us mainly. But that's what it's about.
And if any of you guys do want to come on the channel, the email address to get in contact with us is paranormalnow@outlook.com, or you can you can contact us on our Facebook page, or you can tweet us at paranormalnowjw or at paranormalnowro. And for the very astute among you, you might have noticed this information on the bottom of your screen.
No.
We also got the website there. The website is going to be it's a work in progress at the moment, which we are hoping to get up and running very as soon as we possibly can, because there's so much stuff to go up on there with the things that we've covered over, you know, the last 8 years. There's 8 years worth of material there. You know, we are not here to prove anything to you. That's not why we're here. We're just telling
I just want to, sorry, Amanda just said in the chat, I had 8 years of aftercare. We still talk, we still, you know, that's true. She's there. Amanda, I remember a story. She was holding a toy and she said, "Richard, it keeps going off." And I said, "Oh, maybe the batteries are low." She turned around, there was no batteries in it, and it went off on as I asked her. And I had to talk to her on the phone, because I didn't have a car, but I still went to go and have a look what was going on. And her partner drove me to my house, and I had to stay on the phone with her while he came back. This is real, guys. It really happened. And Amanda backed me up on that one.
Yeah, and she's taken some of the pictures that we've shown today. I hope you didn't mind. I didn't give your full name, Amanda, but I just gave because you have sort of featured on the channel in some way, shape, or form. But yeah, you know, these things, all the photos I think that we've shown, very few of them are actually taken by us. Jesus Christ, I'm partially blind. I know I do use I can use a video camera, but you ask me to take a still picture, I'm crap. I suck. I do suck.
You do a good job of putting all these videos together, though, Jazzy, considering, but you are blind. I mean, you've got to give you a bit of a... I mean, I couldn't do it. If I went on the computer and tried to make one of these videos, I'd end up launching missiles at Russia or something. I would, if you just put me near the computer. It's not allowed. I'm like...
There's
you know
Geneva Conventions against it. Like, anyway,
yeah, there is.
Shall we go to part 5? This is the final part of the video. And this was what got us back into following this path in many ways. Video 5. Enjoy, guys.
Are there beings out there that want to harm us? No, we need to know. You give us these messages.
Are these beings on Earth right now?
Where I live in Wales, just out of the view of this window, is a place called Power Station Hill, because there obviously is a power station and there's a hill going up into a different village to where we live. And like most of you who are interested in the paranormal, I like to skywatch, and you got an amazing view. in the night sky, probably about a 25 mile, 30 mile view. Myself and Jazz, just over a year ago, had an incident where we were stopped on this power station here at the top of it, because they've built a bypass that leads to this area. We saw a UFO. Well, I say I saw it because I got out the car, and it was a kite shaped like a reverse kite. So you imagine a kite with the long bit, the long end going forward. It flew straight over our heads. When it got away from me, it was like, sort of like the back of it was oblong with a pyramid at the top and a smaller pyramid at the bottom, and the sides were square. It was bizarre. It made no sound at all. Just about make out the sound of the air breaking, the wind that was like hitting this object. Now, a couple of months ago, I saw a very similar object in the night sky. You'll see a video that I took. It was quite late in the night. It was about a month before Christmas, and it was of this object coming across the sky and just stopping. Now these things just go out. I'm not seeing one shoot off, but what they do regularly is just go out. Now, I know the difference between an airplane, a helicopter, and a star. Okay, before anybody asks or you comment on the video. And a couple of days ago, we saw one, and it was incredible. It came over the mountain, come up into the sky, and just stopped. That object you can see right there, I have just watched come up from that viewpoint where the lights are, up into the night sky over there. Sorry, you can't see it on the video, but there is about 8 lights flashing. I looked through my girlfriend's glasses, and she has like glare correctional glasses for driving. And when I looked through her glasses, it was a triangle. This object in the sky was a triangle, a black triangle with lights on it. I got a couple of other people have witnessed it. It wasn't as much as I thought we're going to say they witnessed this thing. It was 2 o'clock in the morning, but this is happening quite regular. Now, I've been sky watching for years. I've had my own UFO experiences. I've got people that's been close to me that's had these experiences, but this little area over here, you won't be able to see it through the window. It is just there where, you get that right? The lights, yeah. Just sort of in that direction where the lights are, is Power Station Hill. And I've been told, and I've had people approach me saying that they've witnessed UFOs in that area, and this is going back from about the 80s. These phenomena has been going on that long that people have told me about. They've witnessed these things.
Why? If you're taking where these ships are going, time in their lives.
We also have a response on the ghost box. As most of you know who've watched our channel, we did this thing called Now Investigations Live, where we did live ghost boxes. Well, I had a message saying that these beings, whatever they are that's communicating with us, we're still not sure, this Council of 12 saying that they can, what we are seeing, the back of the house, this is the back, okay, I'm in the bedroom right now, the back of the house, the things we can see over the woods, which you can't see right now, but I'll try and show you in the day another time, is woods. It's us. That's what this ghost box recording says. They say it's us, you can see. I don't know what to make of it, it's crazy. we're going to see a military helicopter circling, flying round, and it had, I've never seen anything like it. If any of you guys know what it is, you know, one side was a red light, the other side was a green light, and somewhere in the middle was a white light. It flew around this area, and we were filming it because it was just acting very odd. It wasn't a police helicopter. I believe it was a military helicopter. It looked like a military helicopter, and something flew past it. Sorry about the language, because the camera doesn't do it justice. I was filming from my phone. I'm filming it to you guys now. It was like a ball of molten fire, and it flew past the helicopter, and the helicopter did not respond to it. Now, yesterday there was huge, you know, the big military carriers like the Hercules going past. We've had police helicopters going, military helicopters flying past. But this video you're going to see, guys, have a look at it. This object, for whatever reason, the helicopter appeared not to see it. It came really close to it. It was not a helicopter. There was no extra sound, and it just flew away over in that direction towards Cardiff. It is crazy. Well, you can hear our reactions. I've never, I can't even describe it. I've seen, obviously, UFOs. You've seen my videos in the past, but this thing was bizarre. That one's still there.
I know it is.
That one's still there. That one's kind of stopped now. Right, you can hear.
It's a helicopter.
That sounds like an helicopter, but I've never seen helicopters doing that with colours. Going. I don't know what that was. But that is going away.
Gone.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's just come back.
Oh, it's come back.
It's gone again.
Right, that is in the sky. That was the helicopter. You believe? What? That was crazy cool. Mental.
So something even social media. Wagon the silver light. After the police told the many of his views. Just don't know. Do you know if she's in?
In 2020, it became plain to see that the messages that we were receiving from the Council of 12 were very much indeed real. So were the messages from Jonathan, and so was the multitude of paranormal experiences that we have experienced. We have developed this channel and shown this evidence because we believe this message is a message of love. It shows the best of humanity. It shows the best of who we can be. And if there's one thing that can be said about the year we have all just lived, is that it's held a mirror up to the world. It's made us think of things that we may have never thought of before. It's made us ask questions that we would have never asked before, in our personal lives and our lives we spend with each other in society, all as children of planet Earth. That is how Spirit and the Council of 12 see us. After seeing that UFO and having the message and having further validation, we redoubled our efforts to produce more videos and reach more of you guys and connect with different people around the world who have had their own experience through our Wednesday Night Now debates, some of which even have had their own experiences with the Council of 12. In 2020 we have had the Pentagon revelations, an Israeli high-ranking official talking about the Galactic Federation. So much is coming out nowadays, and we're being asked to think about things we possibly would never have thought of. There is no need for this information to create any divide. It is supposed to bring us together, without exception, and show the best of humanity. These messages that we have had through the Ghost Box, over the course of the last 7 or 8 years, we continue to put on the channel, and they have talked about events such as the global pandemic, such as the American election, such as so many different things that can be derived personally and by society. And it is our hope that by putting this message out there, that we can have an impact in the lives of people who are watching. We thank each and every one of you that have taken the time to watch our videos. It has not been easy going on this journey, but it has been fulfilling and it has been worthwhile. And seeing some of the most amazing feedback that you guys give us really does help. We hope that this gives you a little bit of an overview of our story. There is so much more to tell, and so much more yet to be revealed. In the thousands of hours of sessions that we have done, we have only transcribed but a fraction. So join us on this journey. Thank you for watching, and we love you all.
And there you go. Oh, hang on, let's get the pair of us up. There's Richard, there's me. Hello! Hello everyone. So, that's our story. Oh, that's kind of the bare bones of it anyway, as much as we could fit into one show. How do you guys feel about it? Again, we'll put that full into a video in its own right. It's going to become the new channel trailer. I know it's going to be a long channel trailer, but to be fair, it's a long story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so any final thoughts? You guys got any questions you want to ask very briefly before we do wrap it up for the evening? We'll keep it going for the next couple of minutes just in case anyone's got any questions. Any things you want to address, Richard?
No, not really. Just thanks to the guys for sticking into the chat and sticking with our journey and watching this through. I know some of it is like I said, it's bizarre, but it's there, and it's I've lived in. I found it hard to believe at some moments, but it is our journey, and we were asked to put it out there, as you saw in that last clip. We were asked for these beings who have a beautiful, incredible spiritual message for us, and they asked us to put it out, and because we asked them, what are you telling us for? And we're just a couple of mad Welshmen, and they said, just put it out there. It's the way you believe, it's the way you are. And we went, all right, then, well, if that's what it is, that's what it is. And Jazzy as well for putting that together. You had some responses, amazing, but that was that whole thing. But fair dues to you for putting that together. That's epic. I know you've worked really hard on that. It's just like I said,
Thank
it's
you,
it's,
thank you.
it's
Well, you can
nobody's
check
bad.
out the Council of 12 playlist. There's two videos I want to highlight. The one I talked about was when we first that weekend and what we run to, that is on there. But there was another bit I wanted to put into this, which I couldn't because of various reasons. It would have took too long to get to the core clips and stuff the way it was recorded. Which was, there is a video which says it's in the Now News and it's in the Council 12 playlist, where we were actually doing a segment on a Sunday. We met on a Sunday in October of last year, and as we are sitting here recording, the Skype goes down. I ring Richard back, and there's a UFO sat outside his house.
Yeah, completely forgot about that.
Yeah,
Yeah, filmed it live. It yeah, I don't know. It's an incredible journey. There was one comment in there. It was solar function. If you're still watching now, as with the fallen angels, right? As with that sort of sense of what this, like anything in the world that we live in, there's good and there's bad, and I think there's two sides to it. And I think there's ones that have a hidden agenda. If you look at like the Stranger at the Pentagon and things like that, there's two sides to this story. And I was of the same mind. I was of the same mind, Mark, and only listening to the message that Jazz has translated and really taking it in, because I've looked for this spirituality all my life. I've looked from it. There's so many places that is hidden from us, and that includes like that's in religious books as well. That story it is hidden, and we skip over it. We look over it. But this message has been profound, and it's been of hope and love and unity, and it's there.
Empowerment.
Empowerment is there to just. It's all been positive, even though it's told us things that are happening in the world that are, unfortunately, there's things that go on in this world that are negative. But it is said that we can make this world something for the future to look back on with pride and not shame. And that's the message. And that's just all it is about. And that's what we've tried to portray. And that's what Jazzy's done with these videos. That's what the message, he's put into these videos. That's what he's trying to convey. And it's what this is what Paranormal now is about.
Mm-hmm.
It's getting that message to you.
I think the clincher for you really was the UFO outside your house. The fact that I had no knowledge that you'd even moved at that point. We hadn't talked for about a month because I knew you were going through some stuff, so we took a step back. And I wasn't exactly in the best frame of mind at that point, and it was just a case of like we'd just met up for the first time in about a month at that point, and you said that you were going to be moving soon, and we'd recorded that as a much longer message, which I haven't actually transcribed the rest of that message. And this is the weird thing. I will get a pull towards certain messages that we've done, and the message could have been back in 2014. It could have been in 2016. It could be a random part of the Now investigations. Like, it's weird. There is a psychic or an extrasensory element to this, and it says that I will actually do a video on that soon, because I've actually found a piece where it asks, and it says that when I'm transcribing, they do use my ability. There's a brilliant example of one where, in Now Investigation 6, I say, were you in our house? And at the time, I was a bit afraid of it. I was terrified of it. You look at the beginning of that video, the final part we've just shown. I look absolutely terrified. And there was a part where it says, the dog with no teeth walked in. He was crying. And it no longer says it in the way I originally heard it. And I'm not on about like it said it in a male's voice and it actually was a female voice. The way it says it is completely different. There is a paranormal quality to the way in which these messages come through. It's like, you know, when for example, when it name dropped a certain former US president a couple of weeks ago on the video that we put out there, you know, there was... I have no political affiliations whatsoever, really. You know, I look at what our leaders have done, and if I agree with what they've done, then I will support them doing more or less. You know, but they put that message to us, and it has turned out exactly, near enough exactly as we give, and we put that up on the channel. When the bug hit, and I did a session, and about a week before it says you can expect the outbreak within a week, and a week later we go into lockdown. You know, we're not making this stuff up. We're not making this stuff up. You know, this is, maybe it's a fool's journey, maybe it isn't. I don't know, but something inside, I think the pair of us, just needs to know for sure, and the way that we know for sure is to keep following it, and hopefully
you can check out that Gary Jones done the UFO that I captured in the part 5 with the helicopter. He done his own investigation into it, came to the house, and it's incredible the evidence he gathered for that night. And we've had Kaz Clark on there with the pen too. We've had so many people. Like we said, we've had so many amazing people on this channel, and we've all sort of, all the stories have intertwined.
Yeah,
we've all been brought to each other. Laney and Ben, Sam, we've all been brought to each other. Kent, it's just
Jesse Ann.
It's just happened. Yeah, just
John
to get
Walls. Now,
John
when it
Walls,
says about the bit at the
Sparks.
beginning, John Sparks as well.
Yeah.
Deborah, I can never remember her last name. Keith Surtees as well. You know, all these different people that we've had on, you know, have all had something. Andrea as well, We've had Dawn, who we had recently as well. All these people have had something to contribute to this journey, and it's like we're hoping to get John Walls on here very soon, and he, in his video where he talks about his abduction experiences, he talked about the war within the Council of 12. Now, we didn't know about the war within the Council of 12 other than that message that literally I've just shown you. It's at the beginning. This is not what they once were. They were corrupted, is basically what they were saying. And yes, guys, like this, for some of you watching, this could be a bit of a rude awakening, right? What I would say to you guys, take what works for you and leave the rest, because simply that's the way to do it. Because at the end of the day, you know, this is all we can. I'm not telling you to believe one thing or another. All we ask you to do is keep an open mind and join us for the ride. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah. And if you need any help with the paranormal, if you've got any paranormal questions, you can email us. All the descriptions.
Oh, was there anything in the chat, by the way?
Anything in the chat? The chat haven't stopped. They've been bloody nattering for Wales. Literally. They've all been having convos, and they've been sharing infos and saying about just everything that we've covered tonight. It's been amazing. The chat.
Well, I'm gonna quickly just say hello to everyone. Hello to Mandy Lee, hello to Jamie Rochin, hello to Purple Sammy, hello to Alison, hello to Lady and Ben, hello to Amanda, hello to who have I got? Hello to Julie. I heard there was one Custard Cream, brilliant name, fantastic, I love it. Hello to everyone. I'm just checking to see if there's any other names that I've missed. Hello to Joey, hello to Solar Function. I hope you're doing well, by the way, Solar Function. Hello to schp.ek. Hello to Relja. You know, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you very, very much for coming on and having, you know, a little bit of a natter on our channel. We will be putting more videos out very soon. Richard, you have a protection video that you're going to be doing very soon as well.
Oh yeah, completely forgot about that. Yes, I'm going to be doing. Well, I've done a cleanse in your home, and I've done it as simply as I can, guys. I haven't complicated it. I've tried to make it simple for you guys if you're coming from a place of brand newness. I'm going to be doing one on cleansing yourself, protecting yourself, and keeping yourself zen, if you like me and Jazzy, zen.
And if you've got,
yeah, go on.
if you've got any suggestions for any other spiritual development tips, I'm going to be doing some life after death videos. I think the channel calls for some more conversations with Jonathan, which I'd love to. I'm going to do. I've actually got a video essay I did on synchronicity on one of my older channels, and I'd love to repurpose that because I've looked at it and I've gone, wow. So I might do something on synchronicity soon, just like a little video essay or something. Because that has been a big thing in our journey, and that's a big thing for anyone taking this a paranormal, psychic, spiritual, supernatural journey. Right, yeah. Guys, love each other and love yourselves.
Love and light, para peeps. We will see you in the next video. Take care.
Take care. What